Hello and welcome to Kent State University at Stark. My name is Katura Knies and I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here on our wonderful campus. Right now we are standing in our visiting gallery and we are going to take you on a virtual experience today as you experience our Studio Arts program. You're going to get to hear from faculty, see a little bit of our campus, see some of our student work, and do a live Q&A session with our faculty and staff so that you can learn a little bit more about the Studio Arts program that you can complete in its entirety here on the Kent State University at Stark campus.
I'm Jack McWhorter, professor and coordinator of the art program at Kent State University at Stark. Kent State University's School of Art is one of Ohio's top schools in the visual arts, offering undergraduate degrees in art education, art history, and studio art. Our program offers a wide array of studio disciplines, expert faculty, and a place for fine arts and liberal arts to come together in creative and inspiring ways. All studios and classrooms are located under one roof in the Fine Arts Building, which was renovated in 2018. Students are supported by and challenged by a world-class faculty who stimulate individual and collaborative creativity in the classrooms, studios, and gallery spaces. The Stark campus lies in the heart of the vibrant Northeast Ohio arts community and also offers travel study to cities such as New York, Chicago, London, Rome, Paris, and Beijing. The BA in Studio Art major is fully offered at the Stark campus. The program offers abundant opportunities for students to work in a variety of media with guidance from our talented faculty. Studio concentrations at Stark include drawing, painting, sculpture, and expanded media. To fulfill degree requirements, students also take courses in print media and photography, ceramics, and digital media. In all of the studio art concentrations, students work with traditional and non-traditional materials while learning contemporary art concepts. Students are encouraged to work across disciplines and employ a contemporary approach to art making, helping them define what it means to be an artist and a maker in the 21st century.
Hello, my name is Jessica Bracken. I'm a studio arts major here at Kent State University at Stark. My favorite thing about my degree here is the small size of my department and the overall small size of the campus. It means I'm really able to take advantage of all the resources we have with the faculty and staff here, and also all the equipment we have available to us in the studios. My favorite part of the studio arts degree is that I'm able to work in lots of mediums. With each medium I explore, I'm able to find new ways to express myself that are influencing through the rest of my work.
Hi, my name is Jessica Morton. I'm a student enrolled in the arts program at Kent.
So what were some of the thoughts behind this painting?
This one was an experiment with different kinds of paints as well as landscape and atmosphere. This one is Floetrol and house-based paints. The last couple of semesters we've been working with acrylic and oil, so this was just a progression of that. This class was focusing on landscapes and possibly abstracting them. This one I also started out with water-based paints and pour methods, but then built up with oil and even spray paint. This one was more focusing on lights and shadow.
When I first started at Kent State, I was only interested in functional pottery, but after taking the sculpture classes, I realized how much that I love sculpture and how I could intermix functional and sculptural approaches and use ceramic in sculpture and functional work. It's about my experience and feelings during quarantine. And the four figures are what I created, and the glass tubes represent the 6-foot social distance radius. And then I left bags of clay and empty vessels for the audience to be able to make pieces about their own experiences of quarantine, and invited them to add them and put them on display.
Our campus and our art department, what I found is that it's comparable in so many ways to a private, small liberal arts college, but the difference is that we offer everything at a fraction of the cost. We are a part of Kent State University, and we have all the benefits of being part of Kent State, but yet we have a small, intimate campus where you have time to get to know your professors and they get to know you, and all the support and communication that ensues from that. Many of the students I advise are working part-time, they're living at home to save money, and they're trying to graduate as debt-free as possible. And they're able to do this because we are a local community college, but we offer 4-year bachelor's degrees with the blessing of everything a Kent State University degree can offer. One of my favorite classes was with Dr. Marie Gasper-Hulvet, and when she took our Baroque art history class, after studying it for months, to Rome to actually see the artwork in person and discover the whole city and the culture and the history.
Well, you just heard from our faculty and staff, and also from some of our students about the work that they have been doing. So now I want to open the floor for any questions that you have. We have our faculty, the art program director, and also our advising staff and admission staff. So please feel free to write in the chat, or you can even ask if you have any questions. We are here. Well, I have the very first question here. What type of opportunities are available after graduation?
Yeah, and I would be a good person to address that. This is Jack. I think every artist's career path is different. As was characterized in the videos, Kent State University at Stark is a liberal arts program. So in addition to learning the foundations of art and learning about art history and gaining skills in the studio arts, students are also taking classes across the curriculum. So, so your career is actually dictated a lot about what, in ways that, you know, what inspires you, what are you interested in? And many of our students at Kent Stark actually have strong interest in other academic areas. Take recent examples, we've had some students in the business area, students in biological sciences, some students with really strong writing, English language skills. And so those careers span from doing illustrations for the medical school up in Rootstown to advertising, web design. So there's a great range of things that our students are doing. We have had several students in the past couple semesters complete their BA in studio art here. They might minor in psychology, and then they apply to grad school at Ursuline College for art therapy. So we're placing a lot of students in social service agencies, in some of the local smaller scale museums, the Akron Art Museum, the Cleveland Art Museum. So there's a range there.
Thank you. I think I already have the next question here. What are some options you have for minor in the studio art department?
Well, a student can minor in a studio area. For example, a student might, let's just take the art therapy student who might focus on psychology and then build a portfolio of work and some skills in painting or drawing or three-dimensional modeling areas, and then go on to a grad program. But I really encourage our students here at Stark Campus to not just focus exclusively on the visual arts, but to expand their skill set. And again, trying to identify areas of areas that they're interested in. We have actually a number of really talented musicians that are part of our visual art program, but they're not part of the music tech program. So.
Thank you. I think the next question will be actually good for our advising team. So how does academic advising look like at our campus or at the Stark campus?
The Stark campus advisors meet with new freshmen every semester, and we advise students for each semester their upcoming classes. Additionally, we are available to meet with students at any time that they have any questions or any issues. They can make an appointment with us, and we are able to work with them or answer any questions as well. So we're a small college, so we're very hands-on and available at all times.
So there is another follow-up action, and I think that will go to advising. What art major can you begin at Stark?
You can basically begin all the areas of the arts, the studio arts, art education. You can begin a lot of the areas at the Stark campus. And then depending on what you're majoring in, you transition to the Kent campus. Because we're all Kent State University, you don't need to transfer. You simply make an appointment when it's your time to transition to the Kent campus in Kent, Ohio, with an advisor in the College of the Arts at the Kent campus, and schedule your classes up at the Kent campus. So basically the transition is seamless, and you're just working with a different advisor in your particular program.
So I have actually another question here. Are the classes online because of COVID? Or is there an online option at all?
A good number of our courses are offered remotely. All of the art history courses are remote classes, and what that means is that, I mean, we do have a couple of the general surveys that are web-based courses, but the remote class means that the students still meet synchronously with the faculty. Studio classes, on the other hand, we're very proud to say that we're among like the 25 to 30% of classes at Kent State that are still meeting face-to-face. And we have very strict, room capacities, wearing masks. We have, the studios are set up with protective screens, but students are meeting, and we're using the studios as critique space. And if any of the students are a little, fearful or leery about traveling to campus, we also allow them to work with us remotely. So we actually have a class that could have half the class on campus and then the other half dialing in for participation.
Actually, there is a follow-up question with this too. Do you have any 2-year art programs that we offer here?
We don't advertise the associate degree, but students when they reach that threshold of the number of credits, they can receive the associate degree. So yes.
Okay, thanks. The next question I have, do you take students for study abroad focusing on art?
Yes. Eleanor just mentioned her work with Dr. Marie, and she offers a Rome trip, and regrettably we had to cancel her Paris trip last spring. So she provides 2 opportunities for international work, and I offer the trip to China every 2 years, and I work with Dr. Kan Kun at the Kent campus, who's in art education, and we take students to China and Beijing, Xi'an, and Shenzhen, and some of the larger cities.
Thank you. I think the next question is something that I always hear from students, that what is the tuition cost? So I don't know if someone from admissions want to answer that.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Katura here from the admissions office. So the Kent State University at Stark is a regional campus of Kent State, which means that we have regional tuition. And whereas you'll pay around $10,000 or so a year at a public university, or even at the main campus, at the Stark campus, you're going to pay around $65, $61. So that's a little over $3,000 a semester for tuition. And if you look at that compared to Ohio public schools, like I said, Akron, or even the Kent main campus or Youngstown, or versus a private school where you're going to pay about $30,000 plus a year, Kent State Stark is a very, very affordable option. And you're looking at a little less than $3,000, or a little more than $3,000 a semester, which is really, when you look at tuition costs, is very little. I'm going to throw a link in our chat here to our debt-free formula that we often talk about. And what that means is a lot of our students either graduate with very little or no debt. And I'm sure Jack can back me up on this. When you're a working artist, it is a lot of, it's best not to have a ton of debt. And so it's really great. It really gives you a leg up when you're going out to do your professional career, if you can have little to no debt.
So there is actually a follow-up question with that. Do you have any scholarship available for freshmen or even for transfer students?
I can chime in on that. The campus has a number of scholarships that are available to students, and there's probably over a dozen scholarships. I don't have the exact names, but there are opportunities for students to apply for scholarships. We don't have one specifically for the visual arts, but the campus itself has some scholarships available for students.
Definitely. And I'll just chime in that if you are a new student, meaning that you are a first-time incoming student, and if you apply by May 1st, you'll be automatically considered for scholarships for admissions purposes. So we do consider all students who apply for those scholarships. And I will also put a link in the chat for scholarships that you can apply for that are outside of admissions, but still part of Kent State University. So for example, if your parents an alumni, or if you go to certain school districts and things like that, there are scholarships specifically for you. There's over $700,000 in scholarships that are available to our students. And after your first year at Stark, there's even more because we have continuing student scholarships that you can apply for. And those are often, we have so many of those actually, some years we don't even give them all out. So we do have a lot of opportunity. And when you're looking at, you know, a tuition rate that is 40% less and you put a scholarship on top of that, it can be very, very affordable to come to the Stark campus. And we have great facilities as well, so.
I have one more question here, but I think I can. So it's like, where can we find about the 2-year program at Kent, the associate programs degree? So we can just probably send the link to the chat, like where you can get the description, like what we offer in the associate degree.
Sure, I'll find that link and put it in the chat for you. I'm looking for it now.
All right.
The only other thing I was going to ask Jack to comment on is just to give, since the students couldn't see all the space, like we got to see a little bit of the studio art galleries and stuff, just on the spaces in the studios that are offered to students on our campus.
Sure. This, first of all, we're very proud of being one of the few regional campuses in the state of Ohio that to have a really substantial studio environment. And we have a very large painting studio. In fact, our studio is larger and better than the Kent campus. We have a newly renovated facility and with expanded space for sculpture, dedicated ceramics studio, dedicated print space, and a photo lab. We have an iMac lab, one of 2 iMacs on campus, or iMac labs. We have one of them that our art students use. And we have a number of gallery spaces for students and for visiting artists. And we have a robust, when it's not COVID, we have a robust gallery exhibition season that brings in artists of national reputations. And it's called the Lemon Art Gallery. And we have a smaller space that we use for student exhibitions. I'd like to add also, not only our space, but we do have a travel study program that it's actually called Experiential Learning. And my colleague, Andrea Myers, who teaches the 3D sequences, takes students to Chicago. She has gallery representation in Chicago and attended graduate school in Chicago, so knows artists and some of the gallery dealers in Chicago that we introduce our students to. And I take students to New York City, and I'm represented by the Painting Center in New York, and I have many artist colleagues that I schedule a time where I take the students to their studios and to their galleries. So considering our space and our connections beyond Stark County and Northeastern Ohio, it's a pretty good deal.
Thank you, Jack. Is there any other question for us? We are still here.
I'm dropping the information about the associate's degrees in the comments here.
Thank you for that. Yes. Because one of our actually attendee asked like what 2-year program we had. So as Jack said that we usually don't advertise, but if anybody is interested in, sure, I mean, you can definitely do it here. If there is no other question, we would like to wrap up just saying thank you so much for joining. Of course, we couldn't have you on campus, but of course we enjoyed having students and even like sharing our program information online. Actually, at the end of today or probably like sometime tomorrow, I will be sending you some information regarding our admission steps, or if you have any other questions, we'll also add our admissions email here, so that after the event, if you have any other questions to us, just feel free to send us an email and one of us will be reaching out to you. We'll also send you the link for the video today so that you can go back later if you have any questions. And as I say that you will have our Stark admissions email address, so feel free to reach out to us throughout that. And we look forward to seeing you on campus at some point, or even like one of our classes.
I will point out that starting again in late January, we are going to have campus tours back up and running. So they're going to be closed now just because of family travel and things. But if you would like to see the campus and see specifically the studio art spaces, you can schedule for a campus tour starting. You can actually go on our website now. There's tour slots open starting late January through I think April. And as part of that, we'd be more than happy to allow you to see the studio spaces. You just have to let us know if that's something you're specifically interested in. For the folk that was asking about the 2-year program, I did throw a link in there, but just to let you know how that kind of works, you do the Kent Core with us, and then you would do the Studio Arts program up to, I think you have to have 60 credits to graduate. So you would work towards that, maybe doing like a portion of that program. So if you have more questions specifically about that, I'd really encourage you to talk to one of our admissions counselors directly, or I'm sure Jack is also willing to talk to anyone about this program.
Yeah, can I chime in real quick here? I am available, and frequently students will contact me directly and we'll set up appointments. And I'm particularly interested if parents want to attend those events. And I'd love to talk to parents about what their child can do, their student can do with an art major. So feel free to contact me as well.
Thank you. And for the tour, actually, we have tours on Monday and Friday. So there are some options for it, as Kitura mentioned, that if you want something specific that you want to see the studio art program, just mention that when you're reserving the spot, and we can manage that for you. So we are starting for the tours from January 18 till May 7th. So for all these months, you can even come to campus and meet with one of our admission staff. And if you want to actually see the studio art, as Jack mentioned, that he's available to you. All right. Any other questions from anyone? If not, as I say, thank you so much for joining with us today. And thank you our faculty and staff joining us and making this event really great. I'm excited for hearing from our students. So everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.